The KBC Board of Directors, Management and Staff wishes all our esteemed listeners, viewers and clients a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. We wish you peace, joy and prosperity throughout the coming year. Thank you for your continued support and partnership. May your holidays be filled with happiness and good cheer.
All I do is win. Kuna venye nina Magic's anger on the beat.
Hey, all I do is win, win, win. Kuna venye nina feel. Mistari zani nyonga nita speech.
So journey imekuwa fiti tu, kuna growth. Unajua kenye inamata ni growth. As long as I'm not where I am in venye nilianza in 2019.
Minute love, minute hate, making mistakes shine away. I would have held you closer if I could.
Our intention is to ensure that we enable Kenyans interact with music in a way that is relevant in the digital era.
A platform like BASE will enable us also to now do our streams locally and be able to make something of it.
Want to listen to that. That's how I want the music industry.
It's the season of sharing and making merry, and your favorite TV station is here to make your Christmas more memorable. Watch KBC Channel 1 this holiday season and stand a chance of winning thousands of shillings in cash prizes and shopping vouchers. Look out for our trivia questions and get rewarded for answering the questions correctly. KBC 1, giving you 1,000 reasons to be happy.
This could be your sister, brother, or you. Say no to gender-based violence. Say no to GBV. Protect them. Report any incident on toll-free line 1195. This message is brought to you by the Government of Kenya.
Well, it is the last Monday of the year. The date is 27th of December, the year 2021. The time, 9 p.m.
And just 4 days into the new year, 2022.
Same time last year, where were we in terms of COVID?
Same time last year, we were still under the dusk to dawn curfew that had been imposed by the president in November, and it was running all the way to January 3rd. Again, we could only hear that some countries had access to COVID-19 vaccines, but here in Kenya, we got our first consignment in March this year. And as we speak, Tom, 14.5% of Kenyan adults are fully vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated. So comparatively, I think we are doing very well, although I believe there's still headroom for more people to step forward and get vaccinated.
And we hope 2022 will be the year of vaccination, because
my crystal ball tells me so. Anyway, let's that's how the highlights for COVID looks like over the last 1 year. Let's look at our headline story tonight. The corona wave is sweeping. Health Ministry warns festivities could be costly as positivity rate spikes.
Extremely important that the phase one that we have started which will involve 5,200 classrooms, is completed by April this year.
Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha says classrooms for junior secondary school to be ready soon.
Class hundreds left homeless as government undertakes demolition in Mukuru kwa Njenga. And we forgot to say that the whole world is safe when
we are all vaccinated. Absolutely.
So thank you for joining us. My name is Mboya.
My name is Purity Museo at KBC Channel 1 News at Purity_Museo at Mboya24. The hashtag to use tonight is Prime Edition. Byron Abuli is a sign language interpreter tonight.
Straight to our top story, Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe is tonight warning Kenyans to take the COVID-19 precautions seriously, saying celebrations this festive season should not lead to an overwhelming of the hospitals.
Kagwe sounded the warning as the country recorded an unprecedented increase in COVID-19 positivity rate, which now stands at 37.6% from 35% on Sunday. The CS maintained that unvaccinated Kenyans should not be admitted into any public space.
This is the story that opens our coverage tonight.
Minister of Health is cautioning Kenyans to remain vigilant as the coronavirus infections spike over the festive season. The curve continues to rise as the coronavirus positivity rate Monday jumped to 37.6% from 35% on Sunday. In the last 24 hours, 1,596 new coronavirus cases were confirmed, and the country's confirmed cases since the first case in March 2020 is 284,150. In a statement, Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe assured that vaccination centers, both public and private, will remain open until late during the festivities to allow more people access these services. Statistics from the Minister of Health indicate that only 14.5% of Kenyan adults are fully vaccinated. Globally, China has stuck to a zero COVID-19 strategy of tight border restrictions, lengthy quarantines, and targeted lockdowns as Beijing prepares to welcome thousands of visitors for February's Winter Olympics. The northern city of Xi'an has now banned residents from driving cars around town in an effort to control the country's worst outbreak in 21 months. No vehicles are allowed on the roads unless they are assisting with disease control work. Police and health officials will strictly inspect cars, and those who break the rules could face 10 days detention and a fine of 500 yuan, which is equivalent to $78. In the New York, new COVID-19 vaccine requirements have come into force as infections continue to surge, fueled by the Omicron variant of the Children aged 12 and over are required to show proof of full vaccination to access indoor dining areas and many extracurricular school activities. The city is also introducing a vaccine mandate for private sector workers, the first in the US to take such an action. Jabs are already mandatory for state employees. Italy, Spain, and Greece have made face masks compulsory outdoors again. Catalonia in northern Spain has imposed an overnight curfew, and the Netherlands is in strict lockdown. More than 1,400 flights were scrapped on Monday, with Chinese and US destinations being the worst hit. Hong Kong is banning all South Korea's Korean air flights for 2 weeks after positive cases among some arrivals. In all, more than 8,000 flights have been grounded over the long Christmas weekend that began on Friday.
From health to education now, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha says that the first phase of the junior secondary school classrooms under the competency-based curricular program will be complete by April of next year.
The project that was initiated by President Uhuru Kenyatta has set aside 8.1 billion shillings for the 10,000 classrooms across the country for easy transition of learners from primary to junior secondary school. Professor Magoha spoke in Mombasa during the inspection of the ongoing KBC Classrooms construction project.
Anne Buru is our education reporter tonight.
At the Mombasa Secondary School for the Physically Handicapped in Nyali Sub-County, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha briefly officiated the groundbreaking of the CBC classrooms. He later moved to Shanzu, Kisauni Sub-County, where he inspected the ongoing construction of the Mamangina Girls Secondary School. It was during their tour that he reiterated that the government is committed to ensuring that the 8.1 billion shillings project initiates smooth transition from primary to junior secondary school.
It's extremely important that the phase 1 that we have started, which will involve 5,200 classrooms, is completed by April this year. It will give us time to mobilize and start phase 2 so that by the end of the year, when we start in 2023, all our children will have enough classrooms to be in.
He disclosed that printing of textbooks for the grade 6 learners will be complete by April as they begin their first term.
From 2018, when we started to get textbooks, first of all, we saved 70%, and we have spent in excess of 28.5 billion shillings. And we are going to ensure that by the time we go to grade 6 in March next year, in April next year, the grade 6 textbooks which are currently being printed will have been distributed to all the children.
And with the current tight school calendar, the Education Cabinet Secretary assured that all 5 national examinations for next year will be ready by end of February.
It is important to note that we have 5 examinations next year, the 2 normal ones in March, then there will be 3 of them, the normal KCP and KCSE, and then grade 6 exam, which will be responsible for only 40%. Those 3 shall be done in December. The President has directed that we prepare those exams, and as he leaves, the exams will be ready to be mounted. As a matter of fact, there are just a few things, and I hope by the end of February next year, all the exams, all the 5 of them, will be ready to be mounted.
Meanwhile, the Kenya Primary Schools Head Teachers Association 17th Annual Delegates Conference is expected to commence tomorrow at the Sheikh Zayed Children Welfare Center, with the Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha expected to officiate it. For Prime Edition from Mombasa County, I am Ann Boru.
On to politics now. And Orange Democratic Movement party leader Raila Amolo Odinga has stepped in to cool the rising political temperatures in Migori County. Raila, who toured the county, called on the gubernatorial hopefuls to campaign peacefully, saying that violence has no place in the current democratic space.
Meanwhile, Western Kenya leaders allied to Raila Odinga have warned Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala against any attempts to disrupt the Azimio la Umoja meeting scheduled for 31st of December in Bukungu Stadium.
Kevin Washira is on that political beat.
ODM leader Raila Odinga was in Migori County to quell simmering tension in the area, pitting party's gubernatorial hopefuls. Raila, who chose to address his supporters in mother tongue, told the aspirants that he will not allow the party's popularity to be diminished by a few disgruntled elements.
ODM! ODM!
Raila's move comes barely a week after Migori Senator Ochilo Ayako's rally was disrupted in Suna West by a known assailant who tear-gassed him. In Kakamega County, political leaders allied to Raila Odinga are reaching out to ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi, inviting him to the Azimio la Umoja rally scheduled for 31st December 2021. Speaking after inspecting Bukungu Stadium, where the meeting will be held, the leaders warned area Senator Cleophas Malala against disrupting the meeting, which they say will give political direction to the community. Senator Malala has now been summoned by National Cohesion and Integration Commission over remarks bordering on hate speech.
Na mnajua hiyo Kakamega, hapo ndio bedroom yangu. Nataka kuambia hao majamaa, kama hawatachukua permit kwa Musalia Mudavadi, wasikuje huko tarehe 31.
You cannot stop River Nile. Yes. River Nile is too powerful. And we are saying kwamba on 31st, we are declaring our support for Raila Amolo Odinga and Honorable Wycliffe Ambeza Oparanya as our new kingpin for this region.
Oka ni nyoka isiyo na kichwa
na haina mkia. Because there is no leadership in Oka. Na hatuwezi kungojea tuchelewe pale. Awaje kutumiwa vibaya na Malala. Kwa ajili Malala yuko na William Samoei Ruto. Na yeye yuko kwa biashara. Malala is a young political merchant.
Na huu mkutano ni wa watu wote. Si watu wa ODM peke yake. Wakenya wote ambao wanataka wakuwe hapa, wale ambao wanaunga mkono azimio la umoja.
In Busia County, Marachi Cultural Day was temporarily disrupted as supporters of various gubernatorial hopefuls clashed. The event, however, proceeded after calm was restored.
Let us not lose our heritage. Let us not abandon this county. This county belongs to our children and our children's children. Tujenge county kwa kitu moja. Wale wote ambao tunaishi nao pia they belong to this county.
Elsewhere, NAK Kenya party leader Martha Karua has questioned the rush by Jubilee and ODM parties to amend the Political Parties Act. Speaking while receiving aspirants in the party, Karua said there was need to give Kenyans and political parties time to engage on suitable amendments to the Political Parties Act.
Those amendments have been pushed by the handshake. Amendments to do with elections. The demand must come from a majority of the parties. And I would therefore tell the handshake partners, haraka ni ya nini?
The National Assembly Justice and Legal Affairs Committee will Tuesday engage MPs who are fronting amendments to the Political Parties Amendment Bill. Yeshoki Washira, Prime Edition.
Meanwhile, a presidential opinion poll released by InfoTrack pollster Monday places Raila Odinga as the most preferred presidential candidate, that he would garner 33% of the vote if election were held today. Deputy President William Ruto, according to that poll, comes second with 32% in a survey it said was conducted between the 17th all the way to the 21st of December. 1,600 respondents took part in the survey that indicated the 2022 general election will be a two-horse race.
The survey was conducted from 1,600 respondents that represented the 19.6 million registered voters across the 47 counties, indicated that a majority of Kenyans preferred Raila Odinga as president with 33% support, followed by Deputy President William Ruto, who garnered support from 32% of Kenyans. Raila was most preferred candidate in Nyanza with 57%, followed by Coast 48%, Western 38%, Northeastern 33%, Eastern 29%, Nairobi 28%, Rift Valley 26%, and Central 16%. The report further indicated that Ruto was most preferred in Rift Valley and Central with 42% each, followed by Eastern 39%, Nairobi 32%, Northeastern 25%, Coast 24%, Western 23%, and Nyanza 13%. In terms of party popularity, UDA is more popular countrywide at 33%, ODM 32%, and the rest of the other parties, including Jubilee, Wiper, ANC, consisting of 35%. The report further revealed that the majority of Kenyans don't recognize the existence of the Oka movement, with 52% of Kenyans interviewed calling for its dissolution in support of UDA or ODM. The report further indicated that Raila was gaining ground, with his popularity growing from 13% on December 2020 to 33% in December 2021.
On a separate matter, many city dwellers have blamed the harsh economic times occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic on the dampened festive celebrations business people have before enjoyed. Big business during Christmas have had to contend with slow businesses that has characterized this year's celebrations. Many Kenyans are, however, upbeat of a brighter 2022. Ben Troy Njue with that report.
27th December in the streets of Nairobi City. Kenyans going about their business uncharacteristic of a festive season. Businesses that are usually open on a Monday remain shut for the festivities, with few remaining open.
Hii saizi tunangangana tu vile iko. Though vile watu wametravel, hakuna ati iko busy vile, lakini tunakopa tunayo vile iko.
Hii mwaka hii Christmas imetukaria. Other years tunamezoea wakati kutoka day 23 business iko juu, biashara imeshika kila mahali, lakini mwaka hata tumeamua kuna kwenda sikukuu.
Hii biashara iko chini kidogo, sio kama miaka ingine. Maybe imeaffectiwa na corona, sio kapenye tunafanyaga, lakini hiyo kidogo tunashukuru Mungu.
Traders hope to cash in from a few city dwellers who could not make it up country for the celebrations. The COVID-19 pandemic has taken a toll on many establishments, coupled with the number of Kenyans who opted to travel up country. The hotel and transport sectors also feeling the heat.
Usafiri wetu umerudi chini sana, hakuna watu venye kitambo kulikuwa na flow, saizi hakuna flow. Hata unaweza ona hakuna flow. Gari moja moja inajaa, gari ya nyuma ijae ndo ya mbele ijae saa hii. Hii imerudisha biashara yetu chini, Christmas imeenda chini kabisa.
Kazi imerudi chini, watu wametravel. Tunakuja town na kwa 2 hours kabla ubebe. So watu wapo bakijani.
With the country gearing up for campaigns, the 2022 education calendar and later on general elections, Kenyans are optimistic over brighter 2022.
Ukiangalia hii uchumi vile imekuwa, mambo imekuwa mangumu sana. Watu wanaogopa kuspendi pesa juu ya school fees. Juu watoto wanafunga shule wiki moja wanarudi wanafungua.
Kwa Wakenya tujikaze hivyo hivyo. Siasa tufanye siasa iliyo na amani, siasa nzuri, maisha mzuri, vile mzee Mboya alituambiaga.
For Prime Edition, I'm Ben Troy Njue.
Well, these are COVID-centric times and the protocols stand. Time for our first break.
And if you are yet to be vaccinated, I hope you're planning to do so as your New Year's resolution.
I plan for a booster.
Okay, we'll see about that. Stay with us.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hii ya nia njema, bonyeza star 811 star 817 hash.
Nia njema ni tabibu, nia mbaya huharibu. Unapojiwazia mema basi muwazie na mwenzako. Unapojiombea mema, muombee na mwenzako. Unapojipangia mema, mpangie na mwenzako. Unapomaliza mwaka, usikubali upweke. Unapoanza mwaka, anza na mwenzako.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hiyo ya nia njema, bonyeza star 811 star 817 hash. Star 811 star 817 hash.
My youth, my treasure. I will use it to positively build my country Kenya. Kenya all the way. Kujenga nchi ni wajibu wetu kama mayouth. Tujitokeze, tukae rada. This message is brought to you by the government of Kenya.
Log on to the KBC website at www.kbc.co.ke to get the latest breaking news, entertainment, sports, politics, lifestyle or business trends from Kenya and around the world. Never miss new episodes from your favorite TV shows, reruns and movies. Just stream online or watch live on your YouTube channel at KBC Channel 1 TV shows. For the day's biggest stories, trustworthy news and family entertainment, log on to KBC Channel 1. Watch what you want anytime, anywhere.
This is KBC Prime Edition. Moving on, nominated Senator Gertrude Musuruve has pledged to champion the rights of persons with disabilities in the country and is calling on political parties to involve them in their teams. Musuruve made the remarks when she donated foodstuff to vulnerable people drawn from Lugari constituency in Kakamega as they celebrated Christmas festivities. The beneficiaries welcomed the kind gesture as a much-needed reprieve. Here's that report.
Speaking during the donation drive in Lugari constituency, the nominated Senator Hose announced aspirations to run for the Lugari constituency parliamentary seat, expressed her readiness to champion for the inclusion of persons with disabilities in leadership roles.
Walemavu lazima wawe kwa uongozi. Kama mtu ni mlemavu haimaanishi hawezi ongoza. Yes. Unaweza kuwa na changamoto ya kutembea lakini unaweza bisha ofisi. All political parties lazima pia kwa register yao iweke walemavu.
Musuruve saying society must learn to embrace all if this nation is to move ahead, promising to ensure that every person gets their rightful share of the national cake in the constituency if she clinched the seat.
Niko tayari kuwa mtumishi wa Lugari ili nione CDF imefikia jamii zote, hata zile jamii hazijiwezi, watoto waende kusoma. Na najua kwamba kuna jamii nyingi hapa Lugari hawana stima. Na ningependa kusema kama mtetezi wao, nitajiunga pia na serikali tuone vile stima itakuja hapa.
The beneficiaries welcomed the kind gesture from Musuruve and thanked her for remembering them during this festive season.
Nafuraha kuona mama wetu anakuja kututembelea. Tukukula mchele lakini tutakula.
Tujaribu huyu mama na mtaona different ya wale wazima na wale watu wa aina ya sisi.
Elsewhere, officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations in Machakos County have hosted a special Christmas for children from Museo Children's Rescue Center. Led by Rhoda Kanyi, the officers donated Christmas goodies to the children, urging leaders and well-wishers to help the unfortunate children realize their dreams.
Tuwe tunakumbuka hii boma, especially kuja kuchunga na kulea hawa watoto ambao wako katika hii boma.
Anastasia Nzioka, the director of the Children's Home and Rescue Center, lauded the gesture, urging other well-wishers to assist children in the rescue center. The rescue center currently hosts 27 children. Yusufar reporting for Prime Edition.
Hundreds of residents of Mukuru kwa Njenga slums in Nairobi have been left homeless after the government moved in to demolish their structures to pave way for road expansion. The residents who had been issued with a vacate notice months ago had remained adamant, forcing the government to move in and clear the structures for the construction to commence.
These were the scenes witnessed at Mukuru kwa Njenga slums in Nairobi. In the past week, several houses have been demolished, rendering thousands of families homeless, including expectant mothers and children. The demolitions are to pave way for the expansion of Catherine Dereba Road that will connect the Nairobi Expressway and industrial area and also open up the slum for business. Residents condemn the ongoing demolitions, calling for relevant authorities to intervene.
Jana vile walikuja hapa na mapolisi bado wakakuja kupima tukakataa. Leo vile sasa wamekuja wakiwa wengi sana kukuja kuchukua hii shamba kupima, wananchi wakakataa. Sasa hatuelewi tumesimama wapi na tunaishi hapa kwa tent.
Kitu inaleta shida ni juu ya kubomolewa na tukuelewa ni nini juu tumebomolewa, lakini sisi kitu tunataka ni kitu amani. Tusaidiwe basi tutoke kwa tent.
According to their lawyer, court order has been issued prohibiting any activity on the land until a case in court is heard on the 24th of January 2022.
Order of the court that was issued on the 8th of December 2021, which clearly indicates that this case is in court, that there is supposed to be a ceasefire and that the police should not interfere with the community until the case is heard and determined.
To start respecting the order that we received on December the 8th, which essentially said until January the 24th, there be no change in the conditions on the ground. The status quo that is here cannot be changed, and that involves there is no legal basis for surveying this land, for beaconing this land until we return to court on the 24th of January.
Locals claim the manner the demolition is being carried out is inhumane and insensitive to the plight facing many, including the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Now, a group of philanthropists in Isiolo County has joined hands and opened a girls' rescue home aimed at providing education and a safe haven for the orphaned girls, as well as those fleeing abuse, neglect, poverty, and early marriage. Area leaders have welcomed the move, saying that the gesture will go a long way in providing immediate relief for girls from the harsh realities they would otherwise face. Here is the report.
Beyond the launch of this orphanage in Bulapesa, Isiolo County, is a journey full of hope and aspirations. For the orphaned and neglected girls, this will not only be a safe haven for them, but Sakina Home for Girls will also offer them yet another chance to pursue their dreams through access to quality education.
Mtoto akishakuwa orphan, hana baba na mama na ni msichana, jamii inamchukua, inamfanya home girl kidogo, na baadaye hata wanamuuza. Anauzwa. Akishauzwa kwa bwana, baada ya watoto wawili watatu na umaskini hiko, shida ni kubwa sana.
We have to invest in education, especially kwa wasichana. Shida ambayo amesema ya drugs. Vijana wanamaliza shule ama waende shule, wanabaki katika mtaa, maisha inakuwa nini?
Sakina Home for Girls has been birthed from an experience that left the founder, Samira Maddox, who was orphaned at a tender age, traumatized. Luckily, she got a scholarship to study in the US, where she is currently working, and escaped what made most girls here disadvantaged: early marriage.
Na amefanya kazi nzuri sana. Tumuombe dua, Mungu ampatie afya na aendeleze hii project. Ni kitu ajabu kabisa.
Watoto ambao hawana familia karibu, hawa ndio tunataka kuwaonesha kama kuna watu wanaweza kuwapenda, wawafanye kama watoto wetu sisi, wakae vizuri, tuwalee, tuwapeleke shule za msingi, ya sekondari na hata ya university.
The new home will accommodate 15 needy girls for a start.
Lakini hiyo idadi tunapenda tukikuwa na wafadhili zaidi itafika hadi 100 ama 300. Tungependa sana kwa sababu hii kazi tunafanya ni kazi ya kujitolea.
In Laikipia County, government's efforts to restore peace in Olmoran and other parts of the county have received a boost from civil societies and professionals who are conducting peace campaigns in the area. And as Zainab Said reports, the civil societies are using person-to-person and community-to-community approach aimed at silencing the perennial guns in the region.
Few months ago, these were the scenes from Laikipia West. Rampant attacks by armed bandits that left a trail of destruction and displacement after villagers fled their homes. The state of lawlessness forcing the government to embark on security operations to bring back sanity.
We are going to be here in a sustained manner for a long time. Tutakaa hapa sio wiki moja namna hii hapana. Tunataka kuweka presence hapa.
Months later, the history of this place is being rewritten. A group of professionals from the area are now conducting peace campaigns to supplement government's efforts to enhance peaceful coexistence among the various communities in Githiga and Olmoran wards of Laikipia County.
Hatujawahi kuona serikali ambaye askari na ulio, chief na ulio, na kukanyamazwa. Ni kama hakuna kitendo imefanyika.
The group is leaving no one behind. Artists, victims, business leaders and youths are all enjoined in this grassroots campaign.
Wewe unashunga ng'ombe yako, mimi nalima, tukiumia tukiwasha hiyo mboma, nani atakupatia kitu ya kukula? Unga utatoa wapi? Duka utanunua kwa wapi? Muhoteli utanunua chai kwa wapi? Na ni kwa nani?
The group that is now engaging man-to-man and community-to-community talks regrets the negative effects of insecurity in the area.
Mwenye analipa anaua na upanga, atalipa na nini? Na mkuki? Basi tunaomba Mwenyezi Mungu atupe amani, kwa sababu serikali haitawaletea amani, inatoka kwenu.
Land still remains a test of peace in the area. The group now advising absentee landlords to either develop the lands or surrender them to the government.
Hii mashamba hii hapa Oromoran ilipatuano 1975. Saa hii yule mtu hajakuja anataka hiyo shamba yake ifanywe nini? Mnataka ifanywe nini? Na mko na vijana. Vijana mnataka wapatue shamba lini? Hiyo mashamba ishukuruwe tena. Ipatue vijana. Hata wakuwe na title deed.
As a sign of respect to those killed during the skirmishes, including security officers who lost their lives, the residents have been urged to examine all political aspirants before voting them in.
Mimi kuzalio kwangu sijawahi kuona askari ameuliwa. Mandege na kwake imetoka juu na chini. Lakini hiyo mara ni hii. Ni soko gani iko hapa ya kumaliza watu? Thank you. Thank you.
For Prime Edition, I'm Zainab Said.
Well, Ruiri Ruarera, that's in Buri sub-county, Meru County, has been known to be an area that is full of many challenges, ranging from scarcity of water as well as food. But the script now has changed after the intervention of former local Member of Parliament Boniface Katobu. He's spearheaded sinking of several boreholes in the area. The residents have now ventured into horticulture and don't have really to rely on relief food anymore from government as well as other well-wishers.
The area that was once close to be a desert. The activities going on here will hardly reveal the previous status where water was a scarce resource. The massive transformation here at Ruiru Ruarera in Buri sub-county of Meru County is attributed to the effort by former Buri Member of Parliament Boniface Gatobu Kinoti. Kinoti has drilled several boreholes in the area, transforming the said area into Canaan as it is now known to many.
Mbeleni hakuna hata maji, lakini mheshimiwa wetu alikuja akashimba huko mto Mbogo.
Tulikuwa na ukame mingi sana. Tunaenda huko kwa kisima huko karibu na Sioro. Tunaenda huko tao hakuna maji ilikuwa hapa. Maji tunaweza kuchota maji karibu kilomita 5.
His effort has enabled residents venture into farming and therefore boost food security.
Sasa sisi ile maji tunalima nayo inatusaidia hata kichakula. Yote watoto wetu hawana sinda.
Naomba serikali ione kama tutasaidia na kitangi. Sababu kuna mtu haina uwezo ya generator.
The residents say that water has come as a blessing to them, even as they call upon the government to drill more boreholes in a bid to enable them increase their production in farming.
Ile ningetaka ni maji tuongezewe nyingi.
Na kama hapa wanatoboa maji inasaidia baende pengine batoboa ingine na ingine tukae vizuri.
They, however, decried of poor roads and appealed to other elected leaders to intervene in a move that will help them ferry their farm produce to the market without any difficulties. Timothy Kipnusu for Prime Edition.
Sometimes there isn't a worse enemy than your own heart. A rebellious heart. Forget about her. She's married now. She's not happy. I can't see her like this. A guilty heart.
I can't take it anymore, Mama. I'm sorry I forced you to marry Damien.
A determined heart. I still love you. Let's run away.
But what about my children?
Lying heart.
You're watching Prime Edition this Monday night. Thank you so much for staying with us. Byron Abuli is our sign language interpreter tonight. And over 200 girls have fled to rescue centers within Kuria area of Migori County to escape the cut. Anti-FGM crusaders in the area say there is need now to establish safe homes for girls within the Kuria community to protect them from the archaic practice. Rothwambui reports.
FGM has become a thorn in the flesh among Kuria girls in Migori County.
Kwa tumefunga shule. Wameamka kaniamsha nikashanga kwani tunaenda saa hii usiku shambani. Kumbe hivi nienda kutaiwa kaniambia tu nivae bado tu nguo za black. Tukaenda sana sanya tumefika hapo tu kupanya naenda kunita mwenye naenda kunishika kichwa nikitailiwa. Nikasema jana nilisema ninaenda kubadilisha viatu. Leo nitasema nini? Ndio mama yangu ajui kukimbia. Nikakimbia. Hawakunipata. Nikaenda nikajificha kwa mahindi, hata sikujua niko kwa mahindi gani. Mimi nilipata niko kwa mahindi. Wakanitafuta wakanikosa. Nikasali rozari nikaomba. Ikafika asubuhi nikapandisha kwenda juu kidogo ndio nikajua safu sehemu niko. Kuna baba mwingine hapo jirani akanipata akapigia chief simu. Nikaenda nikakochifa akasema tunaendelea anifiche. Nikakaa hapo kwake, chief akakuja akanichukua akanileta hapa. Ndio nashukuru Mungu niko hapa. Tuko na nyumba 5 kajificha kwa moja.
A representative of the Pan-African Women's Association, while speaking in Korea during a tour of rescue centers, said schools and homes are not the best place to hold girls who run away from the cut.
I'm here on monitoring on evolution, and I'm surprised that the vice is still continuing. And today, as we spoke yesterday, that we have to join hands and end the vice.
Tulioona hapa kidogo si nzuri. Tunatumaini ya kwamba wanaweza pata mahali mbadala, maana kambi hii imekita katika shule.
The anti-FGM crusader said the number of escapees during the December holiday are at its peak.
That's why we are here to give support to those who are really working here locally at the organizations to see what more we can give since before this ends. So we just brought some small gifts and motivation, love them, just natural love.
Sentiments echoed by Christine Gatti, a manager of a rescue center that currently hosts over 200 girls.
Huu msimu wa ukeketaji ukweli kwa Kuria hatukuwa tunautarajia kulingana na kalenda ya shule, maana tulijua shule ikifungwa kufikia tarehe 23 basi wasichana hawangekeketwa, maana tayari hizo siku zilikuwa chache, lakini tulishikwa bila kujua, na ndio maana tuliposikia kesi ya kwanza imetangazwa ikabidi tutafute tutaweka wapi wasichana ambao watatoweka kutoka kwa ukeketaji.
2 months ago, the Kuria elders signed a memorandum of understanding with the anti-FGM board to bring to end the practice.
Wengine wamekuwa wakiletwa hata na wazazi wao wakisema kwamba wanaogopa labda grandmother atawakeketa, na wengine pia wamekuwa wakikuwa rescued na polisi wanaletwa hapa.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has given an ultimatum to end the FGM in Kenya by 2022. Ruth Wamboi for Prime Edition.
Gubernatorial aspirants in Tana River County have been challenged to be peace ambassadors as the country enters the campaign period. These and more stories in our news making headlines in the counties.
Speaking at the Merti Shrine of Wadhei community in Bura constituency during the endorsement ceremony, the elders led by Abdi Hassan challenged electors to thoroughly scrutinize candidates' manifestos before making their choices.
Tafadhali tafuta kura kwa kuleta jamii pamoja, kwa sababu Tana River hii ni yetu sote, inatutosha.
tumeafikiana, tumeshirikiana, tumemaliza hii jambo kwa umoja na tunaomba Mungu atakuwa na sisi.
The elders at the same time endorsed former Bura constituency MP Nassan Nur Abdi to vie for the Tana River governor's position. Finally, faithful from African worship held their annual prayers at Samson's Corner in Kirinyaga County by going round Mount Kenya preaching peace.
I am against every violence in every bone of my body. We can argue and prosecute the case for the Kenyan people without having to cause violence. Most of the people who cause violence and incite youth, it means they have no ideas.
Led by Samuel Kamitha, the faithful say their day-long pilgrimage is derived from their ancestors who used to seek divine powers from the mountain.
Wenye wanaangalia kwa njia ya kiroho, unajua mahali Kenya iko. Na mwaka huu mwingine ambao unaanza next week, wale ambao wako ndani ya roho kabisa wanaweza kuona ile danger ambayo iko mbele yetu.
Tunaombea nchi na umuhimu wa maombi ni katika kujenga imani yako.
Timothy Kipnusu for Prime Edition.
In other news, South Africa is holding a week of events to mark the passing of the anti-apartheid leader Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who died on Sunday aged 90. The plans include 2 days of lying in state before an official state funeral on 1st of January in Cape Town.
Tributes following the death of Archbishop Desmond Tutu have been pouring in from leaders around the world, including Queen Elizabeth II, US President Joe Biden, and Pope Francis. On Sunday, South Africans of all ages and backgrounds stopped by Cape Town St. George's Cathedral to lay flowers and pay tribute to the country's national hero. In honor of Tutu, the bells of the cathedral, the oldest in South Africa, will be rung daily at noon local time until Friday. Tutu's death comes just weeks after that of South Africa's last apartheid-era president, F.W. de Klerk, who died at the age of 85. A contemporary of Nelson Mandela, Tutu was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1984 for his role in the struggle to abolish the apartheid system enforced by the white minority governments against the black majority in South Africa from 1948 to 1991. After Mandela became South Africa's first black president in 1994, Tutu was appointed to a Truth and Reconciliation Commission set up to investigate crimes committed by both whites and blacks during the apartheid era. He will be remembered among many South Africans as a man of courage and clarity of his moral fury. For Prime Edition, I'm Rahma Shanko.
Well, that story brings us to our first, second, or third?
Third
break. Good.
Sports news is coming up next with Tom. Stay with us.
Yes, truly.
It's the season of sharing and making merry, and your favorite TV station is here to make your Christmas more memorable. Watch KBC Channel 1 this holiday season and stand a chance of winning thousands of shillings in cash prizes and shopping vouchers. Look out for our trivia questions and get rewarded for answering the questions correctly. KBC Channel 1, giving you 1,000 reasons to be happy.
Welcome back. I'm sitting in for the sports anchor now. Boxing Federation of Kenya Communication Director Duncan Kuria says that boxing activities will resume February after the festive season. Kuria said that the first agenda upon resumption will be to roll out the nationwide tournaments, starting with the National Novices Championship slated for February. The championship will be followed by the National Intermediate Tournament, where winners will qualify to be part in the Kenyan Open slated for March. The Kenya Open Championship will be used to select the national team for Women World Championship set to be held in May in Istanbul, Turkey, and Commonwealth Games set for July. That's in Birmingham.
The National Boxing League will start after we have held our National Novices, National Intermediate, and the Kenya Open. So once we have done our Kenya Open, then that's when we are going to start our National League. We expect it to be 5 legs to be held in 5 different counties, such that we can have a real good experience of Donti Mashirani. I think it will be a good experience for the boxers and the officials to travel across the country and experience what is found in different counties in this country.
Bobaracho Football Club humbled Kegati FC 4-0 to clinch the Eric Obino Cup in Bora Racho grounds. That's in Kisii Central Sub-County. The winner bagged 30,000 shillings while the runner-up received 20,000 shillings. Nyanguru Football Club finished third. They received 10,000 shillings, with participating teams walking away with 5,000 shillings each. 8 teams took part in the tournament.
Must come together. We must start our own initiatives even before we approach the government to support us. So for me, I would like to encourage this to go on, but God willing, next year I want to make this day even bigger. I want to incorporate more sports. Today we just did soccer and Jua for Wazes. Next year I would like to have some tug of war, for example, some games for women.
Some international football now.